Right then, today's recipe is chickpea and aubergine casserole, which I actually really enjoyed. I've just finished eating it. It was good. I'm not brilliant at coping with suddenly being a vegetarian or a borderline vegetarian. I'm still allowed chicken breast and fish. The irony is that I don't like fish. But every time I make something, I think, oh God, I don't fancy that when I look at it and it's a big pile of veg. But this was really, really nice. And I messed around with the recipe I found online. It's Mediterranean. Obviously, olive oil, sunflower oil, neither of them have got any cholesterol in them anyway. But I'm trying to keep it low fat to try and get some weight off. So the doctor will be pleased with me next week. But for this one, I'll put the recipe in the explanation of the post, but I really would recommend, if you like it like I do with loads of flavour, pile in the garlic, pile in the chilli. I found this kind of paste. There's no fat in it. I've checked the recipe in the supermarket, which did the job, and I will be using that to coat chicken or something before I cook it, because it was really nice. And I squeezed half a lemon in at the end, put some parsley in. But mostly it's just aubergines, chickpeas, potatoes, carrots, onions, and tomatoes, and loads of spices, garlic, chilli, lots and lots of paprika, a bit of coriander, a bit of nutmeg. Really nice. So I highly recommend it. And comes in at, I think I made 4 portions, comes in at 174 calories a portion. Can't be bad. So yeah. Excuse me pottering about. I keep trying to make these films without me actually being in them, but that appears to be physically impossible. Yeah, nice recipe. Give it a go. Hello. Right, this one is Mediterranean chickpea and aubergine stew, which in theory should be absolutely full of superfoods. So I've got my oil my oil is popping at me, and I've got to put in it 2 carrots, 1 red onion, and some actual fresh garlic. The reason that I usually cook with the garlic powder or garlic stuff is because actual garlic is a bugger for burning. So I'm going to put that in, and I've not got my non-stick pan because I wanted to do it. It's supposed to go in the oven, but I don't have an oven, so I need to keep squishing this and make sure it doesn't burn. So once that's gone in, I'm playing with the recipe. I found a recipe online for it, but I'm playing with it like I always do. It says oregano, cumin, a little bit of turmeric, and it said smoked or sweet paprika, but given that this is a land that produces paprika, you can only ever find the standard stuff, and even that's not brilliant. So I'm going to go with what I've got, and I found a little secret weapon to give it some more flavour, which is, I don't know what this is really, it was on sale, but it looks like it's chilli and garlic, and chilli's life and so is garlic, so you can't go wrong. Obviously the lid won't come off it. See, now the lid's come off it. Yeah, that smells pretty good, so I'm just going to put a bit of that in, not too much. And then to add to that, I've got half a jar of chickpeas. Again, had an argument with the top. I've got my plum tomatoes. I've got 200 grams of chopped potato, which weren't in the recipe, but I thought I'd just give it a bit more, feeling a bit more like solid, like it's proper meal. And then I've just been soaking these aubergines in a little bit of salted water, try and take some of the bitterness out of them. So I'm going to put my potatoes in now. It's going to spit at me because of the water. There we go. I'm going to start moving them around with it. And then I think when that's had a minute, I'm going to put my spices in. So that's all right, smells all right. So this is a slow cook job. Once I've got it all in, I'm going to boil it for like just a couple of minutes, and then I'm just going to leave it simmering for a good hour and see what happens with it. Right, so I'm going to try this paste because I want to know if it's going to knock my head off or not. Oh shit, that's hot. Okay, so we're not going to use a lot of that. 1 teaspoon. That's going to be the best thing that's ever happened to me because it's going to give everything a bit of heat and flavour. You know I'm already tempted to put another teaspoon in, don't you, because of the size of the pot and the amount of food though. What the heck? You can always stick yogurt in it, can't we, if it gets too hot and spicy. Go on, just one more. It's all over my top as well now. Okay, so I'm going to mix that round. Whoops, carrots everywhere. It's a good job it's just me, isn't it? I'm not cooking for anyone special. So while that's going in, I'm going to put plenty of paprika in it because that seems to be the main ingredient in this recipe. I'm going to put oregano. One good pinch. Oh, wow, that was a good pinch of that. And then it said coriander, which I've got in here because I split the bag the other day. So you know what? The spices are so crap here. I'm just putting loads in. Right, so that's and then it said a little bit of tumeric. Everything in my kitchen is now bright yellow because of turmeric and what's the other? Turmeric and ginger. And then I'm just putting a bit of nutmeg in because I don't know, there's something about nutmeg. It's such a peculiar, interesting flavour. Right, now I need to get that moving now because it's excited and it's going to start sticking and burning. Ooh. Okay. Right. Okay, and then to that I'm going to add my aubergines and a little bit of their water. Oh no, I'm not going to have room for my chickpeas. I suppose when it goes down a bit, it'll be all right. And like I say, aubergines, they need to be cooked really well. Right, I need some water in that, otherwise it's going to stick. There we go. Right, let's just let that go. Get it all mixed in. And then I'm going to put in the rest of my ingredients and just let it boil down. So, my goodness, it's so healthy. Let me show you what I've got so far. There we go. Lots and lots of veg. And to that, I'm going to add my chickpeas. It said I could put some of the chickpea water in as well, so I've done that. And then, the taste excellent. It does smell good, and it looks good. It looks nice and flavoursome. So we'll just see. I mean, then basically it needs to cook. Now I should be braising it in an oven. I don't have an oven, so I'm just going to stick this in, squish it up. And I managed, this one actually opened, so I've now got a jar with a proper lid. And I'm just going to squidge that all up. And then I'm going to turn it right down and leave it for an hour. Squidge my plum tomatoes up. Honestly, by the time I've got this diet regulated, I'm never going to want to see any of these ingredients ever again. I'm just really limited at the moment because I don't really know what I'm doing. And this is such a different world from my usual diets. I mean, they're always, I try and keep them low fat, but I also go low carb. And this is not low carb because carbohydrates are now my friend. Proper carbohydrates, not the evil ones, you know, like sugar and stuff. So that's all. We'll see what happens. It's bubbling away. Got turmeric everywhere again. And then apparently once it's done, I just need to squirt a bit of lemon juice into it and some fresh parsley. Obviously it says, and a great big pouring of extra virgin olive oil, but that ain't going to happen. So it needs a good hour at least, that now, if not longer. So I've got all that mixed up. And while that's cooking, yum, 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 I love garlic. Looks okay. I'm going to make my tea, which is the last of the red lentil curry, which I'm now sick of the sight of, obviously. So I'm going to turn that right down to number 2. I'm going to make my tea, and I'll come back in an hour or so and tell you what it's like. Ta-da! Doesn't that look nice? That's a bit of parsley that looks like I've stuck a bit of lettuce in the top of it. So it's come out all nice and rich, very red, very hearty looking. I still think it would probably be better if I had an oven and I'd managed to braise it, but such is life. So I'm going to get stuck in and enjoy a portion of that now. I'll put the recipe in my post. Peace out.